Hi, my name is Jamie Blackburn, and I'm with ArborGuard Tree Specialists here in Atlanta. And we're at Oakland Cemetery talking about some of the trees here on the historic grounds and some of the needs these trees have and reasons why we're looking to raise money to help protect these trees. Oakland Cemetery is a very important green space right here in the heart of Atlanta, surrounded by urbanism, and you can hear the sounds of jackhammers and construction in the background. So for that reason, the trees at Oakland, especially the large ones like this huge southern magnolia, they really help Oakland be an urban oasis. And so it's really important to preserve these trees long term so that you get this benefit out of the canopy and the maturity of some of the trees here. This southern magnolia is especially important to Oakland because it has a story, it has a history to it. Soon after the Civil War, Private Weekly was buried here, and his brother came to plant this magnolia tree next to his brother's gravesite and wrote his mother home a letter saying that he had done so. So trees like this at Oakland take on an even more important cultural significance. There's a cost to preserving these trees long term so that they can become nice and mature like this. Behind the fountain here is a native dogwood tree, Cornus Florida. Dogwood trees are very important to wildlife, especially for birds, for food, and for nesting sites. While dogwoods are not a part of the canopy here, they're a fairly small maturing tree. They would have been planted for ornamental reasons. So dogwoods have lovely either pink or white flowers in the spring and lovely red fall foliage color. This tree is a fairly old dogwood. It would have been planted probably around the 70s. And dogwoods actually used to line the entire square around the obelisk here in the central part of the property. One drawback to dogwoods in urban areas, they can be prone to insect and disease problems. Those issues can be treated and prevented, but those treatments and preventions come with a cost. This is a cherry laurel tree. It's native to the southeast, and this tree is very special because it's actually the city champion cherry laurel, the largest of its kind in the city of Atlanta. For that reason, it's really important to Oakland to preserve historic trees like this. This tree suffers from many of the same conditions that a lot of urban trees suffer from, with restricted root volume. Here at Oakland, that can be due to sidewalks, walls, monuments, grave sites, roadways, things like that. And all those things are conflicts with tree roots being able to naturally, healthily spread out into the soil. So one of the ways we can overcome that is through treatments to the soil and the roots to help invigorate those roots and keep them healthy, which is especially important for old, mature trees like this. And you can see some limbs that have died back in this tree over time, which is completely normal for an old tree of this size. One of the things about these soil treatments is that they can be pretty expensive, and they need to be done every year, often multiple times a year on older trees like this. This is the African American grounds at historic Oakland Cemetery, and what I'm sitting on here is a massive stump of a southern red oak that was the largest tree on the property prior to its demise. It was killed by a lightning strike, and that's pretty common here at Oakland Cemetery since Oakland sits on top of a hill. And so storms can be prevalent in this area. Lightning is definitely an enemy of trees, but there's a way we can protect trees from lightning, and that's through the installation of a lightning protection system. Now, this is a lot of expensive copper, and it takes highly skilled tree climbers to be able to install them properly, and so there's an expense to that. But the expense is worth it because we can help preserve and save Oakland's tree canopy here, like this beautiful post oak you see behind you, which would be a wonderful tree to consider for lightning protection, since now it's the tallest tree in this area after this southern red oak died. We're here in Oakland Cemetery near the grave site of the famous golfer Bobby Jones. And in this area, as many other areas in Oakland, the trees face a lot of challenges from the site conditions here. And this Shumard Oak behind me is a really good example. Many of these urban challenges can be from things like radiated heat from paved surfaces, or soil compaction, which with Oakland being a park space frequently visited, lots of foot traffic, that can compact soils, which makes it hard for trees to take up water and nutrients. So ArborGuard's been helping Oakland out with this tree and many others here for several years. And despite our best efforts, this tree is still continuing to decline. What you see here is a Mossy Cup Oak. This tree was planted about 10 years ago for canopy replacement. There's a nearby stump of a water oak that was causing this retaining wall around it to crumble. Oakland is listed on the National Register of Historic Places, and there are requirements for when they lose a tree to replace it with a similar tree. But they will allow Oakland to choose a species that's better suited to the site and the environment here. And Mossy Cup Oak is really a great choice. It's a large maturing tree, long-lived, strong-wooded, and highly ornamental for an oak. And so makes a much better long-term tree than a water oak would be, which tends to be short-lived and weak-wooded, and a lot of the older water oaks here at Oakland can cause some problems. It's better to preserve and save the large trees that we have through certain means, but inevitably when some trees die or need to be removed, replacement then becomes very important. Obviously, planting and replacing trees is expensive.
As you've seen in this video, historic Oakland Cemetery has an amazing variety of trees. They're not just beautiful, many of them are historically and horticulturally significant as well. Unfortunately, since 1982, Oakland has experienced a 50% reduction in its tree canopy due to drought, environmental stresses, natural disasters, and old age. There's a significant cost to maintaining Oakland's mature trees, from treatments for disease and insect issues, fertilization, pruning, and the installation of lightning protection systems. Now you can help with these costs and ensure that Oakland's trees are healthy for generations to come. The Historic Oakland Foundation has established the Tree Canopy Fund, which will focus on preserving and protecting all the trees at Oakland. Please consider donating to this fund. To learn more and to donate, visit oaklandcemetery.com/trees.